this is long overdue, if we're being honest.
That was stupid.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Casey, and today I'm going to be taking you along in a summer in a small town type of vlog. This one's going to be a little bit different for me, just because there was no real theme or plan when I first started. I just started taking videos. A lot of my family's back in town, and so I've been spending a lot of time with them and less time planning for YouTube and trying to figure out what I'm doing here. I'm really just trying to take each day as it comes and still do my best to show up, but also giving myself grace to show up a little bit messy, a little unplanned, to just see if I can still grow when I'm not on my A game, I guess. So this vlog is just, you know, summer in a small town. I'll take you along with me to spend time with my cousins and what we do on a typical summer evening. I'll take you with me and my parents to the Stockyards, which isn't a small town, because part of being in a small town is getting out of it. Another fun thing that happens in this vlog is I went to a author event for one of my very favorite authors, Annabel Monaghan. I read her book. I read Carley Fortune's new book. Those reviews will be at the end. Let's hang out for a bit.
Kids got together and they formed a band, and then the band was super successful. It's probably happened in your high school. That happens all the time.
No warning. Just throw it out here.
This is pressure. Straight up pressure.
Okay everybody, I know that I haven't done a lot of talking in this video, but I wanted to come and check in because I have read 2 books in this video and I'm on a roll. Let's just say that. Both were 5 stars. The first book that I read was One Golden Summer by Carley. So this follows Charlie Florrick, the brother of Sam, in Every Summer After. And if you haven't read Every Summer After, I highly recommend reading that before reading this one. I absolutely love that book. A lot of people I know didn't. There are some tropes and some questionable decisions made by the characters, and I completely understand why people would not like that in a book, but I feel like most characters in books don't make decisions that I personally would make, so I can read them for the entertainment value that they offer, as well as get a different perspective on life and situations from other people with different backgrounds. And so while some morally gray choices can be a turnoff to other readers, I think that they're fascinating in an entertainment stance, and just as like people and how people react to certain things. And so for that reason, I personally loved Every Summer After, but again, I could understand why some people wouldn't. And One Golden Summer is almost a sort of redemption story for Sam's brother Charlie from that book, and it's so good. I'll say in general, if you just want like a good summer read where if you're at the lake, this is like, there's no better book than this one to read at the lake, I think. It's set at a lake. Us Weekly blurbed this book and said there's nothing better than reading a fortune book by a body of water. And that is like just so true. The way she captures her settings, and every single book that she writes, like her setting is the main character. And this one's no different. I loved the setting. I loved the carefree feelings and the attitude, but then there's also a lot of heart and depth and conflict that the characters are dealing with in their personal lives and with each other. And I thought, I don't know, I ate this book up. There's a side plot here where our main character, she wants to live the 17-year-old summer that she was too afraid to chase in the past. She creates this bucket list and she's gonna do the things that she wished that she would have done when she was 17. And it gives you that feeling. It gives you that like young summer romance. It has like a taste of high school, but it's also mature and adult, and I don't know, I loved it. There's a little bit of spice in this book, but I think you can skip past it. I love this book so much, and it was a strong 5 stars. Strong 5 stars. Right after finishing this book, I immediately jumped into It's a Love Story by Annabel Monaghan. As soon as I found out that Annabel Monaghan was writing another book, which if you've seen any of my other videos, she's a newly discovered favorite author. I absolutely adore her. The first book that I read of hers came out last year, and I read it, I don't even remember why I picked it up, but I picked it up and I read it and fell in love with it. I thought it was so good, but then I didn't pick up another one of her books until I got Nora Goes Off Script for Christmas. And then I didn't get around to it until I did a 24-hour reading video with my friend Caitlin, which I'll link the video to that. And so then that was the second book that I read of hers, and as soon as I read that, I flew through it, read it in like a day. And then I picked up Same Time Next Summer, flew through that, read that in like a day, and I'm like, okay, it's perfect. She writes perfect love stories, in my opinion. I don't know what it is about Annabel Monaghan's writing that I connect to, but every single one of her characters really touches something in my own heart. I really connect to the storylines that she writes, and I just love her. So as soon as I saw that she was coming into Dallas, I bought a ticket. I went and saw her speak and got to go get my book signed. I met her. It was just so exciting to get to see her and then to immediately read her book right afterwards. And I flew through it. I picked it up on Monday afternoon and I finished it Tuesday morning. I loved that book so much. And once again, like, there's such a strong connection for me with these characters. Both characters, actually. There's a way that our main character, Jane, carried herself, and the way that she was always trying to shape other people's perceptions around her. The whole, like, dress for the job you want and fake it till you make it. That's her entire thing. And that's something that I deeply relate to. Not necessarily like dress for the job you want, but just, I don't know, creating a manufactured perception because you're scared of somebody seeing who you really are and turning away from that. But Jane gets into a situation where she overpromises something in her job, and she has to partner with the worst man of all time, Dan, which, caveat with Dan, my dad's name is Dan, so I don't like that name personally, not in a romantic character sense. So Jane has to partner up with Dan, who's the worst man of all time, and they have to team up to try to save her job in a sense. It involves going back to where Dan grew up and meeting his family, and he has this huge family of boys, and they're all like rowdy and extroverted, and they just rib on each other the second that anybody walks in the room. And that I also relate to. Like, I have a very big family. I'm an only child, but I come from a very big extended family, and we all live in the same town, and like teasing is our love language. And so like that I get, like him and the way that he is. But then Dan feels different because he's less practical, and he's more of a creative, and he wants to live his life in a creative way. So he doesn't fully fit in. And that's another way that I've kind of related to this book, as I'm like I don't feel like I fit in my family either. And so that's just kind of how it goes. But you also know that you're loved, and you're grateful for these big rambunctious people in your life, and that you love, and that you get to spend time with. And anyway, I just deeply related to that book as well. I thought it was so well written. So good. Another 5 stars. That one, I think these two, One Golden Summer and It's a Love Story, which I don't have It's a Love Story right this moment because I went and visited my friend Addie yesterday, and I let her borrow it. So I just had to spread the love. Like, I loved it so much. I'm like, you have to read this. So this one and It's a Love Story, they're so neck and neck for me. But I think these are my favorite romances of the year. And that's huge. That's big for me to say. Like, they pass Emily Henry's book, and I loved Emily Henry's book. I don't know. I think It's a Love Story is a little higher than this one for me, just in more of a connection sense. But this one is such a vibe. So I don't know. That's where we find ourselves. That's the review. It's been a good week. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun going and exploring and doing all the different things. It's scary putting something out there that doesn't feel as planned or put together as what I try to make. So if you liked that, please let me know. If you have any ideas for what I can do in the future, how to be better, how to make more interesting and inviting content, I guess, then drop your suggestions in the comments. I'd love to play around with your ideas. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hi, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Or if you're not quite there yet, then watch another video. Or don't, that's completely your choice. Either way, I'll leave these here just in case. See you in the next one!